Hello, this is Gavin Patterson from Studio 1790, and in today's video we're going to talk about automation. So I'm going to go through the basics of what automation is and why you need to use it. So we'll go right into a session I have here. So this is a session, it's a song called La Casa Roja off of the new Eriska EP. It's my own band. So I'll show you some automation that's going on in this project. So this is the song's out on Spotify, so it's all mixed and mastered and done and finished, but I'm going to show you some examples of automation. So automation is, just to quickly explain, automation is a way that you can change the settings on your digital audio workstation, your DAW, like Cubase or Pro Tools. It's a way of changing settings whilst the song is playing automatically. So it's like recording moves. So say you want the guitar to come up in the verse a little bit. You can ride the fader, as they say, and record that move so that every time you go back and play that part of the song, the fader will move automatically. It's a great thing to do. It should be, if you're doing projects at home, you should be doing this all the time. Sometimes it's better to do this than just apply lots of compression and level out the volume, or maybe you duplicate tracks to boost the volume in the chorus because you don't know how to boost the volume any other way. So you split it up. So track 1 is verse guitar, track 2 is chorus guitar, and then on track 2 you've got the guitar set louder so that when it kicks in it's louder. But you don't have to do that. You can just have one track for everything and then just ride a fader through the whole song, for example. So we'll go in and I'll show you some automation. So you can see here, see all these little bumps? That's automation. So this is a graph. For example, this one I think is volume. So I'll hit solo. So you see this going up here, see what it does. See the fader here? I'm not touching that. Wow. Okay. So whenever I mix this, I must have just sat and listened to this song and rode the fader along to accent certain parts. I think there's a little thing he does on the bass there that I accent. So we'll hear it in context. So that's pretty cool. So I've raised that specific musical moment just to bring it out in the mix. Now if you see, you'll see this is more dramatic when I go to the mixing desk. Probably better here. So have a look. You can see a couple of these faders are moving on their own. That's probably because my hand was on them whilst the song was playing and I was getting a rough feel. And then Cubase records all this information here. So you see all these tracks are all moving. See all this information. Got loads of automation. Not on everything, but just the tracks that I feel needs help. Now, the cool thing about Cubase and all modern DAWs, it's not just volume that you can automate. I'll show you, for example, how you would do it. So we'll use the drums just now. So I'll hit solo. So what you do in Cubase, if you have Cubase at home, the track that you want to automate, just click W. And then this will come up and you'll see it'll come up in the top as well. So that's R and W, that means read and write automation. So when it's in read mode, the green one's on. That means that if there's any automation on this line, it will read it and do it. For example, let's pick that base fuzz again here. So if I solo the base fuzz, take a look at this fader. I'm going to click off, and when it gets to this bit, it will do nothing. So the automation is not being followed. I hit read, and it immediately follows what I've done. So if you want to change it, now obviously you can go in here, you know, and select some moments, and you can draw things on it manually. So that's pretty cool. Gonna undo that. So we'll go back to the drums just now, right, and we'll write some automation just to show you. So read. Okay, go back, turn read off, turn write off. Make sure read's on, and it will follow that exact pattern that I just wrote out randomly. We'll go into mixer mode so it's more dramatic. So it's this fader here, if you can see. There you go. Cool. And in this mixer as well, I've got my read and write up here. So all these tracks are set to read. Now, that's one to watch out for if you're writing automation. Make sure to turn write off the W, because if you leave it on accidentally and you move this fader, it will record it. And then you'll go, what's going on? And it won't be fun. So Cubase is cool because it's not only volume that you can affect, you can do anything. So for example, let's open up a plugin. EQ. Got a little read and write button up the top. So I can go write, hit play. And guess what? Close the plugin. There it is. So I'll hit play. So it's recorded my move. And we can sit and watch the plugin move without me touching anything. It's a bit annoying. I'm very sorry if that was too loud for your headphones. Yeah, so that's the power of automation. You can literally just go in and change anything. Any of my plugins you can do pan as well. So move to another bit. Set it to write. Oh, let me turn that off. That annoying reverb. EQ rather. There you go. And then all automated. So you don't need to rely on plugins, you don't need to rely on duplicating tracks. It just records everything you can do. As long as it's got that read and write button on it, you can use automation. If your favorite plugin, you come to the chorus, you've got your favorite plugin up and you're like, I want to, say you've got a compressor open, like, I don't know, this one. This plugin has read and write, so if I click read and write, I can, any plugin that's in this, so any little, so I can have one of them, every single parameter in every plugin can be recorded. All the buttons, absolutely everything can be all messed around with and will be recorded and then played back. So it gives you endless possibility for mixing. Not just volume, not just pan, but plugins, everything. So if you've never really thought about automation before, I highly recommend whatever DAW you're using, go and experiment with it. It might be called something else. On Cubase, it's called Read and Write. I don't know what it's called on Pro Tools. It might be the same, or Logic or whatever. It's an invaluable tool, and it's a tool that I was reluctant to begin using, over a decade ago. I just thought, nah, that's too complicated. I can just duplicate a track and have just like, instead of having, one track where I can ride the fader all the way through, I'll just make another one and just have that volume set differently. But what ends up happening is when you've got big complicated tracks, you've got, 5, 10 tracks of guitars when you can only have, you maybe would only get by with 2 if you had good automation. So you're saving space on your screen. You've got less to manage. You've got less potential for, I don't know, CPU going crazy because you've got too many things open, too many plugins, especially if you've got lots of duplicates. If you've got like 5 guitar tracks and you've got the same processing, same plugins on each one, that's 5 compressors, 5 EQs, when you can only, you can reduce it to 2 and it will sound just as good, but you can use automation to adjust different levels. Say you want the threshold of a compressor to be a wee bit higher in the chorus, just automate it. Same with EQ. If you want maybe a little bit more brightness in the guitars in the chorus but not in the verse, automate it. It's endless. So that's just a little intro into, just a basic intro into how automation works. And if you want maybe a more in-depth video on automation, please let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoy my videos, please leave a like and consider subscribing and hit the notification bell if you want to receive updates on future videos. Thanks for watching.